What's up, everybody? It's Liliana. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about something that affects literally every single one of us. Credit. I know, it's not the most exciting topic, but stick with me, because understanding this is the difference between building wealth and staying broke. Seriously, there are tons of myths and bad advice floating around about credit scores. People hear something from a friend or see a random comment online and take it as gospel. The problem? A lot of that common knowledge is flat out wrong, and could be costing you thousands without you even realizing it. It's like building a house on a shaky foundation. If you don't get the basics right, everything else you try to do financially will be harder. Buying a car, getting a mortgage, getting a good deal on insurance. You might be saving diligently and investing wisely, but if misinformation holds your credit back, you're running a race with your shoelaces tied together. It's an unnecessary handicap that's surprisingly easy to remove once you know what to look for. So in this video, we're doing myth busting, taking a sledgehammer to the top 5 credit myths I see tripping people up. These myths actively prevent people from reaching financial goals, and by the end, you'll have the correct info to take control of your credit and your financial future. We'll break down each myth, explain why it's wrong, and give you the simple, actionable truth. Watch to the end. Myth number 4, nearly everyone gets wrong. Let's get into it. All right, let's kick things off with a big one. Probably the most common myth I hear, that checking your own credit score will actually hurt it. I can't tell you how many people I've talked to who are genuinely afraid to look at their own score because they think the very act of checking will cause it to drop. They imagine some alarm going off at the credit bureaus, and a little red mark being placed next to their name. It's a powerful fear, and it keeps people in the dark about their own financial health. The truth is, this is just not how it works. Not even close. You have to understand that there are 2 different types of credit inquiries. Hard inquiries, soft inquiries. A hard inquiry is what happens when a lender checks your credit because you've applied for new credit. For example, if you apply for a new credit card car loan mortgage, the lender will pull your full credit report to assess your risk. This does cause a small, temporary dip in your score, usually just a few points, because it signals you might be taking on new debt. But when you check your own credit score, that's a completely different animal. This is what's known as a soft inquiry or a soft pull. You can think of it as you just looking in the mirror. It has absolutely zero impact on your credit score. None. Zilch. Nada. The credit bureaus know it's you, the consumer, checking on your own information, and they don't penalize you for being responsible and staying informed. You should be able to look at it whenever you want. In fact, not only does it not hurt your score, but you absolutely should be checking your credit report and score regularly. Services like Credit Karma, Credit Sesame, or even the free reports offered by many credit card companies are all using soft inquiries. So the fear of checking your score is completely unfounded. By not checking it, you're flying blind. You won't know if there are errors on your report that are dragging your score down. You won't see fraudulent activity until it's too late. And you won't be able to track your progress as you work to build better credit. Imagine a pilot refusing to look at their fuel gauge because they're afraid seeing it's low will make the plane crash. The fuel gauge is a tool to help you make informed decisions. Your credit report is the exact same thing. Sign up for a free credit monitoring service. Okay, moving on, myth number 2. This one is a real doozy. It directly costs people money. It's the belief you need to carry a balance month to month to build a good credit score. By carrying a balance paying interest, you're showing a profitable customer. They'll reward you with a higher score. Surprisingly persistent myth. Let me be clear. This is 100% false. You do not need to carry a balance. You don't need to pay a single penny of interest. Doing so is literally throwing your money away. You're voluntarily giving the bank extra money for no reason. It's like tipping your landlord. The credit bureaus do not give you extra points for paying interest. Here's what actually matters. Payment history. 35% they want to see that you make your payments on time. Minimum. Partial amount. Full statement balance, as long as you pay at least the minimum on time. But paying in full is where the magic happens for your wallet. Credit utilization. 30%. It's the amount of credit you're using compared to your total available. Example, $10,000 limit, $1,000 balance. Equal sign, 10% lenders like this, below 30%, even better if it's below 10%. Carrying a balance increases your utilization higher. Utilization can hurt your score in the short term. The optimal strategy is to use your card for your regular purchases, then pay the statement balance in full every single month before the due date. This way, you accomplish two things. First, perfect on-time payment history recorded on your credit report. Second, you pay $0 in interest, ever. The credit card company still reports your activity to the bureaus. You get all the credit-building benefits without any of the cost. It's a win-win credit card. Companies make plenty of money from interchange fees. They don't need your interest payments to be profitable, and they certainly don't reward you for them in your credit score. You're just making their shareholders richer. This next myth is a close cousin to the last one, but it's a philosophical misunderstanding about credit itself. It's the idea that you have to be in debt to have a good credit score. People hear, use credit to build credit, and think they must constantly owe money. They think a good score measures how well you manage being in debt, so no debt =, no good score. That line of thinking leads people to take unnecessary loans or carry balances on their cards. But it confuses using credit with being in debt. They are not the same thing. You can use credit responsibly without being perpetually in debt. That is the goal. Use the system to your advantage, not become its servant. What credit bureaus want is a history of borrowing and paying it back as agreed. A credit card is a perfect tool for that. Every month you charge expenses to your card. You're technically borrowing from the bank. You get your statement and pay the balance in full by the due date. You were in debt for a few weeks, and now you're not. Repeat month after month, year after year, and you build a powerful credit history. You demonstrate a consistent pattern of reliability. You show lenders they can trust you, without paying interest or carrying long-term debt. Your credit score isn't a debt score, it's a responsibility score. Someone with $500,000 in mortgage debt but perfect payments will score better than someone with $5,000 in cards and a history of missed payments. It's about behavior, not the balance sheet. So you don't need to take out a car loan you don't need, or a personal loan solely to build credit, or anything of the sort. Get a secured credit card, or a beginner unsecured card. Use it for a small regular purchase each month, like your Netflix subscription, or a tank of gas. Then set up automatic payments to pay the statement balance in full. That's it. That's the whole strategy. Okay, this is the one I warned you about in the intro. Myth number 4 is so counterintuitive that it trips up even financially savvy people. It's the belief that once you've paid off an old credit card, you should close the account to clean up your credit report and boost your score. The logic feels sound, right? You're simplifying your finances. You're getting rid of a card you don't use anymore. You're reducing the temptation to spend. It feels like a responsible, tidy thing to do. But in the world of credit scoring, this is almost always a terrible idea. Closing an old credit card can actually have a significant negative impact on your score. It can hurt you in two major ways, by affecting two of the most important components of your credit score. First, your credit utilization ratio. Second, the length of your credit history. It's a double whammy. First, let's talk about credit utilization. Let's say you have 3 credit cards. Card A has a $5,000 limit. Card B has a $5,000 limit. Card C has a $10,000 limit. Your total available credit is $20,000. If you have a combined balance of $2,000 on cards A and B, your utilization is a very healthy 10%. 2,000 divided by 20,000. Now let's say you decide to close that old unused card C. Your balances on cards A and B are still $2,000, but your total available credit just dropped from $20,000 to $10,000. Instantly, your credit utilization ratio has doubled from 10% to 20%. To the credit bureaus, it looks like you've suddenly become more reliant on debt. This increase in utilization can cause your score to drop, sometimes significantly. The second, and arguably more damaging impact, is on the length of your credit history. This factor makes up 15% of your FICO score. Lenders love to see a long-established history of responsible credit use. The scoring models calculate the average age of all your accounts. An old credit card, even one you never use, acts as a powerful anchor, increasing the average age of your accounts and showing stability. When you close that old account, it will eventually fall off your credit report after about 10 years. But more immediately, you lose that account from the average age calculation. If that old card was your oldest account, closing it can dramatically shorten your credit history overnight. For example, one card for 10 years, another for 2 years. Average age is 6 years. Close the 10-year-old card, and your average age plummets to just 2 years. This makes you look like a much newer and therefore riskier borrower. So what should you do with that old card that's just sitting in a sock drawer? And finally, we arrive at myth number 5. This one is a fundamental misunderstanding of what a credit score is designed to measure. It's the belief that your income, how much you make, is a direct factor in your credit score. People think, I got a big raise, my score should go up. Or, I lost my job, my score will tank. But income is not included in FICO or Vantage Score. Credit bureaus don't know your salary. Employers don't report your pay. Your W-2 or tax returns are not in your credit file. Scores come only from what's in your credit report. So what's in that report? Credit accounts, cards, loans, mortgages, payment history, on time or late, amounts you owe, credit utilization, length of credit history, types of credit. When you apply for credit, lenders will ask for your income. They use income plus your credit score to decide. That helps determine ability to repay and loan size, debt to income, or DTI. So income matters to lenders, not to the score. Lenders look at your track record, credit score, and your capacity to pay, income. Perfect 850 score but zero income. You won't get a $500K mortgage. Make $1 million but a 450 score from missed payments. You won't get it either. Getting a raise won't automatically raise your score. A raise can make it easier to pay on time and lower balances, which helps your score. Losing a job doesn't auto-drop your score. Only missed payments or rising balances do. Your score reflects habits, not paycheck size. Don't expect salary to fix bad credit. Improve your score by pay every bill on time. Keep credit card balances low. Don't close old cards. Be strategic applying for new credit. Income is a tool for good habits, but the habits are what the score measures. And there you have it. The top 5 credit myths completely busted. Hopefully, clearing these up gives you a much better understanding of how your credit score actually works and empowers you to start making smarter financial decisions today. It's amazing how a few pieces of bad information can hold so many people back. Use it wisely to build the credit score you deserve, which will open up doors and save you a ton of money in the long run. Now, I want to hear from you. These are just the top 5 myths I hear all the time, but I know there are plenty more out there. Go down to the comments section below and let me know the craziest or most persistent credit myth you've ever been told. Let's create a resource for everyone in the community to learn from each other's experiences and bust even more of these harmful misconceptions together. Your comment could be the thing that saves someone else from making a costly mistake, so don't be shy. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. If you found this video helpful and you learned something new, do me a huge favor and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It really helps the channel out. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos where we break down all things money, saving, and investing. And I'll see you in the next video.